Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chosen of the Gods 6K2v2. We're on the finale and the third round of that finale. Team ONYX managed to pull back a win in the second round, and so now we're going to see both Team ONYX and Team Minds on Comms Off play it out on Honeycomb. We were previously about to start this. I'm having to say this all again because one of the players in Team ONYX, Mr. Meaty's internet was knocked out by a Roomba. I am not telling a joke or a lie. I am joined by Darg.
Yeah!
Tuna.
Hello.
And Mazer.
This is why Conquest was cancelled.
Yes, all of us in the evil tester balance cabal or in the comp side of things like myself, we hated Conquest so much that we infected Mazer's mind and destroyed it. Rooted it out from within, and now we're going to get carriers early. That's what we always wanted. Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? Anyway, yeah, what a second round, huh? Oh god. That's where you're supposed to speak, Dark.
No.
No, I'm not feeling it.
Not today, sorry guys.
Played a game. We kind of had everything, right? So.
Yeah,
now,
I think
what's left?
this round's going to be pretty interesting because it's looking like ANS is bringing
Oh my god, the ship name.
the same build that they brought in the round one. It looks like OSP's might be bringing something similar. Oh man, I'm getting called out here. Dark's unuploaded videos.
Cap, look away. Vastol's wife.
Can't a man just be lazy?
Ewar is not Ibushido. That's a good one.
You really think that the AN team at this point, after the OSP won on Cap Gaming both times, would start running more Cap fleets or more Cap assets?
And now it looks
But it
like they're
just
running
doesn't look like
even
they're doing
less.
that this time. It looks like they have less ships.
Yeah,
They're still placing. I
think-
have faith.
Honeycomb's a really good game, or a really good map for forsaking the cap game and going for a military victory to a degree, not like an actual defeat all of opponents' military assets, but just controlling the map by raw firepower, because you can set up a lower Echo side and control 4 points. You can control Charlie, Echo, Bravo, and Alpha from that one part of the map, and it's really powerful. You can kind of do the same thing on Delta side. But it looks like OSP is going for the Charlie control. And as we've seen in the past, that's a huge gamble. Sometimes it pays off, but usually you either wind up with a bunch of shit, you control 1 point, and your opponents control all the other 4 points, or you just fucking die as you try to put all your big ships on that top point. Drop down here with the
BBB
OSP
coming in
team.
from ONYX.
Okay, that's
No,
good.
Beam backpack, actually. Beam backpack forward 450s.
That's less good. Beam BB is like one of and possibly the best build in the game right now. So let's start going through the OSP fleets. We got. Wait, are these factions correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is fine. Pay no mind to me.
Everything's fine.
We have Quiz here with 450 bulker, 2 450 bulkers, 3 450 bulk freighters. Okay, that changes the math a little bit. That might be able to have strong control here on the Charlie points. Spicy does have a battleship, which is going to perform pretty well against those bulk freighters, but they might be able to wreck the Axfords. I don't know, we'll see. It's also got an Intellitor, a multi-mission mining tug, and then a couple of standard multi-mission tugs, 3 of them, along with 2 nearly naked and 1 fully naked capping ships. Looks like the fully naked is being dived onto the Charlie point. Snipes again with the absolute monster of a monitor blob. Last time Team ONYX didn't have an answer for this. This time they're gonna have to. If they want to stay in this game. He's also, of course, got a couple of escorting ships with some jamming on them, and LRT nearby for spotting things and punting through opposing forces, jamming several gun shuttles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gun shuttles and 1 nearly naked shuttle also heading for the Charlie point. In fact, almost all these shuttles heading to the Charlie point. Gonna get into a big scuffle with those sprinters up there. We're gonna be keeping a close eye on that while we go through the rest of these ships on this fleet. Mr. Meany rocking the Mark 64 and Mark 62 sprinters, which I don't know about that one, Chief. He's also got the
At B, gonna probably hit this ship.
450 in beam Axford as well. Looks like the blind yub out on the Bravo point is going to glonk. Slam into one of the multi-mission mining tugs. Glonk executing it.
6?
Absolutely ruining that ship. It still is technically alive, but it's not going to be able to drop its mine payload. The Escape will, however, be able to cap the Bravo point, and you really want that blind yub to work. Looks like a few more going in, but these are quite expensive. But at that angle, yeah, they'll hit the shuttle, but a little too late to secure the point. These are all coming out of the Javelin, which is an S2, pure S2, actually. No, it's got some S3s on the nose. Pure missile, I should say. Destroyer here out of Mr. Meanie. That's his next ship in the rotation. That explains why he has so few ships, even though he doesn't have a battleship. It's got a anti-capper, or a goalie beam ship. Pinard spinner, another one of these double gun spinners. And then another 450 and beam Axfords. The 450 beam Axford really able to exert control and defend points. They have a lot of cap defense, but not much cap offense. And the problem with that is, even though you can defend points, you can't get them in the first place. Spicy 450 Axford, light on the hard kill, strong on the soft kill. Battleship 450's on front and on the keel, beam in the back for surprise blasting monitors. I'm really surprised that they didn't bring a beam battleship this time, because beam BB is absolutely what you want to deal with the monitors, and they do not have that. They got wrecked last time by the same monitor build, so I'm not surprised that Team Minds on Comes Off brought it again. I am surprised that ANS doesn't have any counters to that. But I see also has a beam ship
up on the Axfords right now,
already
doing
getting
a lot of damage.
and another
Actually, not that
Pinard.
much, but yeah.
Yeah, that C90 is going to add up real quick, though.
They are doing
Man
much
has
more
a
damage than the
third
450
number of
rounds.
ships. They've got to trade much better than they're already starting off at.
Yeah, the monitors are
Two ships
swinging
on
around.
B, but yeah, they're not. I mean, beams firing on C. There goes another shuttle. This one line ship taking fire from those Axfords is looking pretty hurt already. It's going to keep getting hurt, but they have so few ships.
Yeah, they have 12. OSP has 28.
Where's the 6,000 points in each of these fleets? I don't even know.
So a lot of Mr.
that's
Meanie
missiles.
ships are dumped into the Javelin. I think this is like 1,500 points, maybe more, of missiles on this
Missile
destroyer.
programming bus arrays as well.
Because
They're
it's
like
got,
all EO.
yeah, it's got ACT EO validated. It's got some S3Hs, which, those were the EO validated. So yeah, those have got to be really expensive. And then S2Hs aren't that expensive per missile, but you can fit so many missiles per mount that the price really adds up. Spicy also has extremely expensive battleship, because this thing has a lot of DC. It's got a triple drive setup. It's also got the DC buffs, and it's even got an FPA and a beam. And this is like a 2,400 point battleship, more of a traditional battleship. It's also got these Axfords, which are relatively strong on the damage control. They aren't hugely expensive. They got spyglasses, M elevators, track correlators, so their modules are full up. And then this one, yeah, I don't know. This feels like way too many, or not enough points to hit 6K out of Spadicy's fleet. It's pretty easy to say where Meanie's money's going. It's missiles. It's always missiles. Womp womp.
NMT on the bottom of the map, they're getting knocked out. It was trying to go towards the A point and got hit by a bunch of S2s. Fired about 12 to 15 AMMs, but wasn't enough.
And because of what I was saying earlier, ANS has a ton of defensive assets. If they get a cap advantage, they can hold it for a long, long time. But they don't have anything to get that cap advantage.
Big mistake with this Axford up on C.
Yeah, I'm just watching it
really
right
trying to
now.
shoot that
Broadside
gap.
on. Ooh.
All of that
Yeah,
450,
so
all of that 600.
This is why usually trying to take C with the capital blob doesn't work, because everything on the map can see the Charlie point. And
I hope
this
he's got a
Axford.
plan when he gets to the other side there, because that better have been worth it.
The beam's health is like the beam's ammunition, if you want to call it, is very low now, and it's not going to be able to do as much as it's hoping to do with that beam. And also, they now know that the Axford's up there. They can get visual tracks on it soon. With
Well, they knew because
Dar's
it beamed
uploaded
2 of those
videos.
shuttles.
Oh yeah, no, they already know it's a beam. That is true. Actually, no. King
The
said down here
stronghold,
was another beam.
the battleship has pushed up on the Delta point. It's really close. So it's going to be taking the full force of everything's fire. It's eating a
pulling
little bit of
back
plasma on the nose. But yeah, it is pulling back behind the rock. But so ANS has spatially control over the Delta Point. But again, they don't have a capping ship. They don't have anything to put onto the point to actually grab the point and take ownership of it and begin gaining score from that. They're down 3-1, already 100 points down. Man, the gun sprinters engaging the gun shuttles, and as we know, the gun shuttles kind of just win that.
Yeah, they're outnumbered severely.
Oh yeah,
Getting shot at from multiple directions. There's even an MMT in the back that can also join in if it feels like it.
yeah. The
But
Bastion
me too.
being torn to shreds because these sprinters just don't have the output. They're surrounded by what, 4 gun shuttles?
T20.
And the
yeah.
T-20 has outperformed the Mark 62s and the Mark 64s straight up, at least on the sprinter hull, because you don't have enough buffs to really get the gunfire out of those that you need. So these are going to die horribly. Not be able to take the Echo Point.
Fire coming in on this monitor ball as well is just incredibly underwhelming.
The monitor blob's not getting much damage back on those extras in turn. They're dodging just about everything that comes up. And they're focus fired on the Solomons with the plasma.
Oh, are these the traditional? Oh, these are double Raider extras. Okay, now these can fight at long range and fight pretty effectively. They'll be able to dodge if properly ordered to command. C90 fire and plasma fire everywhere between 11 kilometers and I want to say about 7.5, maybe 7 kilometers even. It's a pretty strong range bracket to operate in, but again, they just don't have the capping
Missile hordes
assets.
coming in on all of these sprinters, shuttles on the left-hand side of the map all coming in.
Yeah, I think a lot of the cap control game was cogent on that missile ship, but it's not getting anywhere near the performance it needs, and it's very expensive.
Ooh, one of the cappers that ONYX tried to throw onto the D point there, dying. They're taking shots at the Guanaco. I don't know how to pronounce that because I'm Irish. It's probably going to get the cap off. Let's say reinforced CIC. It might be able to get it off in time in the bridge. So. Oh no! The backpack beam coming in clutch. It's going to. There we go.
The Guanaco has been turned to liquid, pretty much instantly. And the Sumac gonna get annihilated as well. This Delta Point may not be under ANS's control, but it's not under OSP's either.
No. It looks
Oh,
like it's
they're
gonna
get the cap. Oh,
battle short.
no.
No battle
Tragedy
short. Actually, no, battle
strikes.
short was on. The beam was just. Oh, they have a roll order. They have a roll order or something, and so it wasn't traversing.
That ship with the beam.
Things are going.
That sprinter's gonna cook off. Is it in range of the battleship? I think it's outside of blasting range.
What, the Loch Ness?
Let's
Oh
take a
no,
look.
that's
Yeah,
2 kilometers
it's-
away. It's not close
Yeah,
enough.
it's not happening. More missiles coming in on these cappers on the D point. I guess that's maybe the hope for ANS. They brought a lot of missiles to try and kill all the light assets and cappers that were being brought by Team Mines on
Seems
Comms
to be
off.
working all
Look
right.
there.
They've been killing things with every strike.
Meanie might have DC'd. Okay, well, unfortunately, if he DC's this late into the game, they have to play it out. Oh,
Now he's still here.
my mic is just fucky. Okay.
I mean,
Glad that they didn't have to do that.
I honestly don't see how ANS comes back from this, because they just don't have the number of ships needed to capture points.
That's true, but if you look at the ship lists right now, OSP's almost already out of cap assets, so they either have to split up the monitor ball, in which case their capitals can chew them up one at a time, or they're just going to lose the map control. Although AN doesn't really have much to go back and cap the point, so it could go either way, I think, at this point.
Yeah. The problem is that if ANS wants to take a point, they have to throw something actually valuable onto it, and they could just sit back, OSP that is, and treat it like a shooting gallery. Just, okay, I'm just going to shoot at you while you try to get onto that point, because you have no other option.
Yeah, they're slowing down the cap game with C right now, or they're slowing down OSP's game by getting C.
And the E point
they're
as
doing
well.
good
We
work
got
with the missile
Kingstead going to the E point. So this will go to the 3 cap for ONYX, at least for the moment. It's going to take King's Head a while to get there.
Axfords are probably the best option as cap ships because at the very least these can recover more than any of the other vessels in the fleet due to their high repair thresholds. But
at least they learned the lesson from the first game that they didn't keep all their capitals together. So even though they don't have that firepower mass in any single place right now, they're not getting pinned down at a single point.
Kingstead headed for Echo now as well, and it's going to be able to take that. There's absolutely nothing on this side of the map from OSP to be able to challenge an Axford. There's an MMT, but those kind of hell died to the Beam 450 Axford.
You see, what I think is going on right now, and Team Mind's on Comms Office's head, is that there's a lot of points where these beamstones sitting in the back of the map. They know there's missile fleets, right? But they don't know what else is happening. So they might be expecting that there's something sitting somewhere, like a beam battleship or something that they don't know where it is yet. And so they don't want to just, you know, if they just all rounded the corner and mauled this, either these Axfords or the Solomon, they could do it. This is, you know, 9k of points. They could just kill these things. But they're probably worried about something that's, you know, an aggressive frontline unit that is out of line of sight at the moment.
You know what could have been really good for OSP here?
Go on.
Go ahead, Mazer. I think Mazer is speaking.
Oh, I said AN's getting E.
Yeah.
I'll just flip that.
I was just thinking, because these Axfords are pretty minimal on the point defense, right? Like, they've got empty slots, they've just got, like, defenders. If you look at Cauldron, it doesn't even have... It has one defender capable of shooting on the right side. If they just had some lines, man. Like, I know I don't shut up about these, but, like, for real, like, if they just had some lines here...
They
did have...
Ship died.
Yeah,
well,
the Quiet Buoy had mines, but it lost its magazine and its mine launcher from the same missile strike, so it wasn't able to cover the Bravo point. In fact, it's sort of down there, still technically alive, but it's about to eat some missiles. Oh, yes. And the Spear is going to be able to hop onto the Bravo point and capture that. And OSP doesn't really have anything within range. The Monitor Blob could get down there, but I think they're yard driving, so it's going to take several minutes for them to get down there. And of course, if they do go down there, they're not going to be able to engage the Axford or the battleship. It's going to be wasting a lot of time down there. And it's
White Boy has been knocked out, but the Splinter's now... Oh, what's it doing?
And it's 300 points down, but they do have a cap advantage, and we are pretty early on. A massive missile strike out on the Komurumi. Hey. This is so expensive. And this ship isn't moving.
They're just act wave.
Yeah, but there's a lot of them. This is probably 13 points of missile.
This is a 420 point MMT, I'd say.
8. So this is probably just south of 100 points worth of missiles.
I mean, if he gets the kill, it's worth it, because that's one less thing that can cap.
I think this thing's just going to chaff and be fine, because it's sitting behind a rock, so it hasn't fired its engine in a long time, but it's not going to chaff.
Where does it have chaff?
It does.
It does, and there goes the chaff, but it's way too late.
Must have been on manual. That's
probably.
If you're hiding a ship, he's probably got it on manual.
Yep. So that's a lost MMT. OSP now has no control over the X side of the map. The Pacha, the Tokapo, and the Chesqui, and the Viracocha are all headed in that direction, but there's nothing really for those 450 rounds to engage. The Axford is hiding, going to force the 450 ships to get right up on top of it, and of course, if they do, they'll get beamed by an entirely fresh beam, and they'll probably eat some S2Hs as well. Those act weights.
The Axford, the Solomon is now being able to throw itself onto the D point as well, because OSP is shifting, and so now this is going to be a 5 cap?
Yeah, what do you, if you're the blob here, what do? You're in the middle of all these points. You need to go everywhere. What do you even do? You gotta split, I guess, but...
Yeah, they're gonna have to split it up.
That's the last
OSP has one... They have 2 shuttles left and 1 MMT. I don't even know if it's an MMT, it might be a scout tug.
Okay, they're not going to lose the B cap, that has been dealt with.
Bit of a misplay from these missiles. They're gonna miss or get hard killed.
Yeah, a bit of a missed waypoint though, but he's been doing so well for the rest of this game. I think that's alright. He can afford that right now.
What's his missile stock look like? I don't have the ability to check.
Let's take a look.
Here.
He's got 23 left.
Oh no, not one of them. Yeah. 23 those threes.
Yeah, that's not much. That is 2 full volleys. Okay, ANS now is the 4 cap. They were not able to secure the 5th cap on the Bravo point. Spear has been down there. The Nightingale actually is what was going down there. What's the Spear doing? Oh, getting nuclear.
Jack
That's what.
bloomed.
Okay. Well, sorry for the flashbang. But yeah, ANS does have a 4-point advantage.
On A, actually.
They're 200 points down, but as we said at the start of this match, they do have really strong defensive capabilities. I just didn't think they'd be able to actually get the caps to enable this sort of play where they can sit back with these big capital vessels, with the 450s, with the beams, and start picking off the OSP's combat fleets. But they're able to do that now. These monitors have been attrited a little bit, some by missiles, some by 450 from the Axfords and the Solomon.
The jam shuttle for the monitor ball is not being using its jam. It's going to be the first forward.
Oh, the jam shuttle goes down. Okay, it's dead. That's a big problem. These missiles are going to have a chance of getting the blob, but I think there's too much hard kill here. What really matters is the beams are going to be able to focus these ships down quite quickly, unless they all just die to 100 millimeter.
Yeah,
He's
beam
bringing
really
out that
knocked
beam on the
out.
dead shuttle.
Oxen has lost its beam, and it's probably going to die here pretty quickly, but the Bardiche able to get a beam onto target. Salvo and missiles coming in. I don't think these missiles are going to do that much.
Beam is stopped firing. It is on battle short. It's just
They are
knocked
jammed.
off the... Yeah, switch target.
Yeah.
Those missiles gonna hit.
One connection.
3 lands.
Okay,
Another
three.
reloaded, one on the unleashed. Beam coming in. Reloaded's
That's
out
that
of
beam knocked out for
power.
that 600 mil.
But yeah,
Shot
the beam's
right in the nose.
Comes that last
unsee.
salvo. Stage early into a rock.
Yeah.
Correct. One finds it.
Some panic missile fire, and the one thing you really don't want to do with your missiles is be panic firing them. So that the Javelin is now out of juice. OSP is going to be able to storm onto the Alpha Point with this monitor blob and take it. The Axfords and the Solomon covering Delta Point, and one Axford covering Echo Point. They gotta have this 4 cap. They're so
These
far behind
450
on
liners
score.
are in a tough position as well, because right now these 450 liners are in open space, and they've got one Axford from one direction, one Axford from another direction. The beam, well, the backpack Solomon is firing its 450 at them as well, or was at least. And then there's these 2 450 Axfords coming from around the side. They're currently shooting at the intel monitor, but they will also be chasing after these guys. That's a lot of 450 to worry about.
Beam
Oh,
just
yeah.
got repaired on the Ox, and we'll see if he can get it onto something before he gets taken back out.
Probably not.
Plasma now going into the battleship as well. This isn't that much plasma, but it's going to add up pretty quickly, especially what kind of engines you got in this here. Double whip and a single raider, so it's going to take a while for this thing to traverse in any direct to get its nose pointed anywhere. So plasma on one side is going to matter a lot in the long run.
Let's see if this A-cap gets stopped.
Another volley of missiles out onto the A-cap.
Fast.
Chaff, womp womp. Really can't be firing wake missiles at things a nose on. You gotta go for the side gaming.
Instead, making a bit of a stand against 3 line ships coming for the E point.
Experts still kind of outside the map. They're pushing on. They might be going for Bravo. They might just be trying to execute the bulk freighters, and they're doing a pretty good job of doing a bunch of damage into the Pacha. Kingstead is engaging the Viracocha, which is engaging it right back. 450 in the flank, but the Viracocha already heavily damaged from the fight earlier. And a beam out from the Axford, too. He's going to be able to finish this off quite quickly. He really doesn't want to spend much of that beam turret HP here, but he is doing that. Oh, yeah, he's burning this thing quite far. Really needs to save it for the other ships that are armed. Gotta defend that
this
Echo
thing
Point as
cannot
long
do
as
anything
possible.
anymore.
Chat's still calling ties as we speak.
I think
There will
people
not
are
be a
just
tie.
tie-brained after
There
the
will be
game
no
last
tie.
night.
I will have Tuna's computer crash before I have a tie.
What? Bro, what'd I do to you?
You're the host.
Nothing personal, it's just business.
It's just business.
Bardiche getting hammered by the 100mm.
2 mine liners warp into the battle space, and my computer just sets on fire. It's like the French revolutionary who beheaded so many people he was beheaded. Yeah, I get crashed by mine laners. It's like comeuppance.
Oh yeah.
Kingstead taking fire, but the Bulker's taking it back. I think his Axford just loses, though.
That I would have to play another game. Well, the players would have to play another game if the computer crashed. I'm going to disregard that fact.
You were just gonna call a victor.
No, we'll just never talk about the tournament again. Never
Yeah,
mind.
we'll just declare
There's
the
no
tournament
winner.
over.
Everyone go home.
Just be like, sorry guys, game's over. Go home. Turn off the music and go home.
Yeah, all 3 of these 450 liners are going to get mauled in trying to take this E point.
I don't
One is
know,
dead,
man.
Another one has no restores. And, well, last one's in pretty decent condition, but it's going to get probably beamed in a second. Oh, no, the beam is not in good condition. But it is getting 450'd. C point, pretty locked down. Not going to be seeing anyone try to take that in a moment.
Kingstead able to hold off the Echo Point for a little bit, but is getting bullied out of the point by the sheer volume of 450 fire.
He's putting rounds into a dead ship, not what you want to be doing in this
They're
situation.
also firing 450 AP in the flank of this Axford, and some of it's overpinning. Really want the
Yeah,
HE.
no, you want to be, fire HE. If you ever see the broadside of an Axford, fire HE. There's never any reason to fire AP on the broadside
still
Axford.
shooting at that
Top
ship.
targets.
He's not
Yeah,
paying
there's
attention.
life pods coming out of it.
More fire going into the battleship. Plasma landing on the nose. Of course, all the 100 mil being blinked off. Still, that angling is very aggressive. And these don't have a ton of plasma output.
Doing the monitor ball this time.
Is some of the
it's starting
C90
to take
bouncing
proper
too?
damage. Yeah, C90s will bounce whenever, they are hitting 60 mils of armor, right? At that angle. Like, you have to think about the cheeks, and stuff.
The cheats.
Well, like, actual, cheeks. Imagine it like a face, not like, what you were thinking.
Monitors are starting to fall in that blob there. They're all starting to get focus fire down.
I just think cheek is a funny word. It's just a silly word. Like, it doesn't matter what you're referring to with them. It's just a goofy word.
I have Wreck-It.
Beam, yeah, Bardish has
Take
kicked
this
in and is now going to be getting
Beam
these
back
guys. Oh, has it run out of battle short?
Yeah,
has not. There's
if you
not battle
restore...
sword.
Well, 14%, yeah, you can't fire. I think
Yeah.
the beam threshold is 15%. If you restore a beam, you basically can't battle short.
Oh no, it was not. It's not being. Now it's being battle shorted, and they're
No,
stopping
it's
before the critical event happens.
The rear beam turret on the battleship is killing a ship right now. While its nose onto the...
Blasting the E-War is not Ibushido. Keeping control of that Delta point. This battleship, the beam backpack, actually coming in clutch. Normally, you don't get these into a position where you can use the 450s and the beam at the same time. But Spicy here has been able to do this.
Live in that BB dream.
Oh, yeah.
He's doing the thing everyone's wanted to do where you get a line ship and you get enemies on both sides. And you have guns on both sides. He's doing that right now.
Oh man, I remember when OSP first dropped, I was making 250 bulk raiders that I was convinced were just the best, most lethal ships in the game. You put 250s on each side and drive into the middle of the enemy formation and shoot them all. And that works against people who are surprised by it and they're like, oh god, what do I do? But it's actually awful. It dies immediately to anybody that can right click.
Such is life.
Point has been taken for a moment. The cringe capper did manage to get away with it.
It's outmaneuvering the roll of the BB. If he had just kept going, that shuttle would live, but it's not going to. Instant
Yep.
death. He should have kept
Echo
moving.
is still under ANS's control. I don't think it's going to be that case for much longer. These bulk raiders right on
They
top
do
of
have
this
the mag
Axford.
working. If they kill the mag, does the VLS have a... The VLS does have... So if they kill the mag, the VLS, and... Well, yeah, that's it. But the VLS is on one of the
Kill
cheeks,
450,
and
firing into the
shoulders.
tug and kills the tug. Fusing right in the middle of the
Oh.
reactor and drive section.
Oh yeah, Ibushido, rest in peace. The monitors swinging around, trying to get back to the B point.
Anus is going to be able to grab Delta with the stronghold, and during all this, we've been doing the play-by-play of these fights. Anus has managed to close what was a 200 or 300 point deficit down to 50. And they have a sizable cap advantage. They might actually be pulling out a 5 cap here.
Cap. Damn.
They secured the Echo cap. The liners have been pushed out. They're
A-cap
grabbing
will be
back
contested.
Bravo. And getting Alpha.
Yeah, A-cap is not. Yeah, A-cap's going back to mine's on, comms off.
Bard each dead. OSP down to 1 single cap point, and it's yet again
another
the
LN down.
ANS is natural.
We got 1 LN left.
Can the Takapa do
Beam coming
it?
in from the top of the map. One of the Axford's Cauldron coming down. Oh, missing. Although Braum Unleashed is not turning its gun to Javelin, and so could be very bad because this Beam Destroyer can still cap. It has no FPAs or any buff modules to this. Wait, it's a VLS-3 on the front. Never mind.
VLS-3.
Oh
That's
yes,
the empty missile boat.
Yeah.
but it will be able to fly around menacingly. Ah, look at me! I'm a beam ship. Kill me!
He should save that for when that monitor gets killed, then walk it up.
Yeah.
He's just kind of throwing that away right now.
OSP did not really send anything up to the C cap to try and contest it, and I think that was a mistake.
Which
Oh,
he is.
boy.
He's a monitor now.
Goodbye, Rom Unleashed. I mean, if this gets killed and the beam destroyer or the missile destroyer lands on the point at the same time, that would be some peak planning.
So for now, all he's got to do is make it combat incapable, which is a hop, skip, and a jump away if that beam gets on again. So we'll have to see. Mazer Chat has compared the ship you were on to the pure missile DD.
Leslie's now getting bowled off Bravo by the monitor blob. ANS has taken the lead. 20 points, 4-1 cap advantage, and I also think it's safe to say they have a military advantage as well.
I mean, they've got nothing but capitals at this point, and it's CHBB only because the DD is disarmed basically. But what does OSP have?
A monitor blob, a single LN, mostly destroyed scout monitor. What is Quiz's other monitor? Is that just a CIA monitor?
It is indeed just a
Chess
CIA
screen?
monitor.
Yes.
Yep.
The traditional style, not the double EWR style.
Creature.
Some creatures are more creature than others.
Indeed.
I want to see how much damage the Javelin did at the end of this, because it killed a lot of holes.
Here comes the 5 cap. Oh god.
Me too. This is
Oh,
going to
it
be a
looks
good...
like they're throwing in the towel.
Oh, OSP
Damn.
knows what's up. Oh man, I'm really not looking forward to Spodicy and Mr. Meanie getting an even bigger ego off of winning this tournament.
Yeah, I think we need to cut it now. Cut it now.
Pull the plug.
Cut the recording.
This never happened.
I mean, the monitor blob is still alive.
Yeah, both
Can't do much.
Wiz and Snipes saying congratulations to their opponents. Probably about to surrender any second now that the 5 cap has been achieved. Ooh, what a game.
I'm definitely not biased. I'm glad the guys are mine in their team anymore.
They didn't. Oh wait, you mean oh.
Won the one game. And they won it with mine kills.
Yeah, both teams just giving a little bit of a chat away to each other, but I think what happened here is there was a lack of control over the C point, and I think the C point is probably the most important point on this map because it is, you know,
I wouldn't
that's
say
my
that.
opinion.
I don't think that it was a misplay on OSP's side. I think this is a game that AN won, not OSP lost, because they just systematically executed every single one of OSP's capping assets and then moved their. They learned the lesson from the first game, split their capitals up so they didn't get pinned down in one position, and they won the cap game.
That is true, but at the same time, the C point does give them a lot of like. I think there's a positional advantage from being up here on the C point because you can just use these 3 plates, if you want to call them that, to shift towards the E point, to shift towards the D point.
Yeah, but nobody was on top of the map, did we?
I mean, you can get to every point without exposing yourself to the guy on the C plate. It's an important point, but I think it's good to have, but I don't think it's like that critical. It's not like holding the center of pillars, where they have to go through you pretty much.
I think the actual critical point is Delta. Because if you have control over that, and we were actually seeing that with the Solomon early on in the match, that's a huge sphere of control that overlaps Delta and Bravo and Alpha, and can pressure Charlie as well. I mean, look at all the dead ships over on the dead OSP ships. It's 3 tugs and 2 shuttles to what is basically just 1 Solomon. Yeah, man, I was really concerned about ANS's capping assets, well, lack of capping assets going into this match.
The enemy is securing
But
zone boxer.
they really managed to pull it off.
Crown them, Vastol. I suppose I can crown them.
I mean, ending the final round of the final with a 5 cap is a pretty that is one hell of a way to go out. That is one hell of a way to end it.
Indeed. Extremely hard fought from both teams.
I'll wait for the
So buff monitors, yeah, guys. Tough crowd, okay.
tough crowd.
Praise me!
Well, congratulations to Team ONYX for winning the final round of the finale of Chosen of the Gods. What a showing. Great turnaround. So few holes, but they managed to make it work brilliantly against an enemy that did have over 2 times their number, and those were like all the holes that both the OSP team were worth it, right? There wasn't like, a bunch of bad shuttles or something. That was an amazingly put together OSP comp, and they managed to win regardless. Yeah. I'm not sure what else to say besides thank you all for coming. We're going to have the players come up here now and chat about this match.
I don't know, I'm going to say this before they're here, but genuinely that last comp that was thrown together based off of what we got to see of them play. It had a couple twists of our own, but largely what we just played and won with is tech that they came up with, and I want to give credit where credit's due. They Snipes pioneered Beamaxes being viable and convinced the community, and that's a big part of it. So
yeah, we're like, how do we beat Monitor Swarm? This was before the tournament started. I don't know, let's try this. At the end, we're like, shit, how do we beat Monitor Swarm on that round 1? They had such overwhelming dominant firepower. It's like, I have an idea.
yeah.
I have someone else's idea. But
Yeah. And then shout out to those 450 lens being well built. I want to throw that out there. Taking a brutal punishment. But it was the missiles. The missiles made the difference by far. In both games that we won, the missiles made the difference.
Hello to Snipes and Quiz. How did you find those 3 rounds?
Those were really good rounds. Really good rounds. First 2 were pretty close.
Round 2. So the spinner on C died because the DC team burned to death.
We saw.
Yeah.
We saw.
And
team luck, baby.
if that didn't happen, our 4-cap would have taken the victory.
Perhaps.
With the math, like I was doing the math, like as it was ticking down.
I would still have B.
Yes.
The entire game chat was just for the last 10 minutes, chat was just continuously recalculating the points on that.
Yeah.
God, it would have been like 1,000 to 998 if we kept C, like 996 or something like that.
Jeez. Yeah.
So
No, it's like
something I just wanted to mention while we're talking about something that someone mentioned in chat is in the last game on Arroyo, Team Luck fired Sarbomba off the back of one of their bulk freighters, and that missile immediately activated and then slammed into the drive of the bulk freighter that fired it, disabling the bulk freighter entirely.
Yeah, that was called a hat trick.
Working as designed, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think words like close game and well fought are understatements. That was incredible. Thank you guys.
I will also like to point out that my my BMX kind of took inspiration from Puppy's Blind Man. Granted, I put guns on it. His doesn't have guns, so it's a little bit different. But
Damn. I don't know.
Like-
I think the first game, it was so fucking overwhelming. Quiz, I don't know how the fuck you managed to manage like 7 different fucking gun sprinters or shuttles and stuff.
no, those are mine.
No, that was Snipes was handling
Ah.
gun sprinters. Sorry, gun shuttles.
That makes more sense because I was like, how the hell is he everywhere?
Mm-hmm.
my boogeyman, man. And thank you, Eben, for the. I appreciate the yeet
Quiz.
at the.
We should have done. Oh, you know, in that honeycomb match, what would have actually worked really well?
Yeah.
Not even the liners. I'm just the rocket tech.
Yeah, the rocket.
You could just run it at him.
Could have, yeah.
That would have been really funny.
I didn't bring my safety missiles. I brought my safety missiles after that first game because there were sprinters in my walls. It was awful. There were shuttles everywhere. Comments about the game. Yeah, the Zarbomba cooked itself. There's like a couple really close contest caps. It's just, I have no idea how you guys managed to field just so much stuff. It's impressive. How expensive was that monitor swarm? Because I can't figure that out.
Like 5 to 5.1k ish.
Jesus. All right, that
It's
makes
8
more
of them,
sense.
and the only other ships I had was an LRT and then like 6 gun shuttles then just flying around.
All right, and then you guys forewent the. I saw you forewent the Rail Cello in that second game. That was
Yeah.
Rail Cello was brutal for you guys round 1. Seriously, I can't stress that.
We
enough.
were
Rail Cello OP.
debating like in hindsight, the 450s don't win the range bracket war here against like during the standoff fight. So Rail Cello would have helped pin your 450 TCs.
Yeah, because we got TCXs, and that's what we're relying on for a lot of the track.
Yeah. And also, your BB pushing really close to the wall made me think it was a beam BB for like the longest time. And then I started taking 450 fire, and I was really confused. And I thought that maybe you just put a single 450 on the front, because the positioning there was like you were hovering that 5 km range, and I was like, huh.
That was intentional. We do a little bit of psyoping.
Yeah. It was. Oh my god. Those missiles. It was the missiles that won us the game. Like, it's actually incredible. The state of.
Yeah, you managed to kill a lot of light assets with those missiles.
Nobody was believing me until about the midpoint of the game, where I said, "Look at the state of OSP's cap assets," and there were just were 3 left out of, I think they started with a dozen or more.
Yeah, I mean,
I just
we had Quiz and I were talking I think we overinvested in cap assets.
Yeah, I think so.
Because you guys had 2 sprinters.
Not round 1.
Not round 1, but this round you guys were probably 90% of your points were tied up in frontline slash. Yeah. Well, you could count beams because that's.
Yeah, it was
if you count beams, then you count missiles. We had for caps we had 2 Pinard monkeys, and a pair of gun corvettes that I had with 250 for breaking DT in case I got a strike off with my missiles. That I wanted to finish off. That's it.
Right.
We got traumatized by Hunter and Puppy in the round yesterday. They just ran, what if we did no cappers? And that led to some just awful engagements for us that we won based off of a fair and balanced occurrence of the reactor happening on those voxels. And that's the only reason why I think we're here, to be honest.
Did your
investigate cappers?
Your BB didn't have PD? Oh no, you had 5 defenders. Okay.
You can't talk. I saw those battleships in orbit on Arroyo with 2 defenders and a dream.
Okay.
Come now. Though I guess you have active decoy, so valid. Anything from Vastol? Are you going to host another one of these in the future?
Mark.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. One second. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for coming along for this tournament. It's been actually so smooth to get all this. There's only one or two things, such as a player's computer bricking itself trying to download Escape from Tarkov. That happened, so we had to reschedule one match. There was one match that had to be pushed back, but besides that, everything went off without a hitch. I'm very pleased. All the players did excellent. They showed up on time. Everyone was very positive about it. The community's been very supportive throughout everything, and I don't know what else to say, but thanks everyone for getting involved with this. Damn. We might see another tournament in the future. I very happily run another one, maybe something similar, maybe another 6K, maybe something bigger, who knows. But besides that, yeah, again, I'd like to thank everyone for coming. I'd like to thank Darg for helping make this possible, and I would like to congratulate our tournament winners, Team ONYX, Mr. Meanie, and Spidicy. You will be getting absolutely nothing from me. There was no prize. Never was a prize. Do you think you deserve something? All you did was play a Yup Nub fleet. You disgust. No, you're great.
I already won. We got to fight a game where every single point was controlled by a competent player for 4 matches. That's the real victory.
Oh, man. Alright, that went on for an extremely long time. I'm probably going to cut all this. If you are suddenly seeing a see you in the battle space message, then, well, yes, see you in the battle space. I have a Discord, I have a Patreon, links are in the description. Come on down, have fun, hang out, shoot things, play Neb. You do be pretty nebulous up in there. Good night.